Welcome to the channel, Gaming Army. These two matches on the surface are going to appear very similar, but they are most decidedly incredibly different. Let's see if you can spot the difference. So for these two outings, we are going out in our Catapult K2. Nothing fancy here, just a nice long-range weapons platform outfitted with 4 ER large lasers, top speed of 69.8 kph. And our first match has us playing Assault Mode on Rubelite Oasis, and we're focusing a nice shiny pink Assault Mech on the other side of the board. He's silhouetted himself quite nicely there, allowing us to get some shots in. I do take some fire to my right side from one of his teammates, and I quickly reposition. Now, I didn't have to get this aggressive with my reposition. I probably could have just used the cover to shut down his angle and continued firing on that left side, but I also know that heavier units are pushing to the right side. This Kodiak, second assault in there, I think it's a Mad Cat Mark II if I'm not mistaken, but I want to add support fire to my teammates on this right-hand side. Now, I'm also paying attention to the fact that I'm getting calls, and I kind of see it on the mini-map that there's a unit in Fox 6. I was quickly checking my rear to make sure that I'm not getting jumped from behind, and I do need to be aware that there is an enemy unit, but it appears that he is sticking to the low ground for now. I just need to be aware that he's there and that he doesn't use one of the ramps to come up and pay me a visit. The Kodiak is way out of position. He's getting focused. We add to the damage on that CT, and down he goes. One of my teammates got the kill. I didn't, but that's okay. It's secured, and that's 100 tons off the board. I'm going to keep working this right-hand side, looking for opportunities and angles. There's a Mad Cat Mark II, and it looks like he wants to head to the high ground. Unfortunately, I am blocked by terrain, so I can't shoot him, but there's an Archer. There's also a Thanatos over here, and I think that's a Sun Spider as well. So it's still a very target-rich area that I'm in. I just have to keep checking my rear. There is something operating in the area, but again, it appears he is in the low ground and not up with me, so I'm going to move back out and go back to work on the enemy units, and they are still here. We still get some shots on the Sun Spider, adding some more shots to the Mad Cat who had pushed up, and the Thanatos is dropping in. He is heavily damaged. I get a couple shots on him, and he's in the nest of my teammates. I'm going to let them finish him off while I work the Uzil. He is not paying attention to me, and he's giving me his back. Lots of back. So if he's going to give me that many back shots, I'm going to take them all day long, and we wind up punching through his rear CT armor. And now the score is 10-5, so we've got this one pretty much in the bag. It's quickly turning into a mopping up operation, and I'm going to start pushing in, adding support fire to this Sun Spider. I can't get the angles when he drops into that low ground, so that's why I'm kind of pushing in to make sure that I've got the angles to add support fire as well. He's starting to open up on the side torsos, and he's going to go down really quickly, leaving the last man standing, the Arctic Cheetah. Arctic Cheetah is heavily damaged as well. In fact, there goes one of his side torsos. But instead of trying to chase after him, I'm going to reverse course and try to cut him off at the pass. But he is going to, I think, overheat himself to suicide before we get to him. So switching over to our end screen, we finish this drop with 2 kills, 9 assists, 709 damage done. Moving on to our next drop. This one has us playing Domination Mode on HPG Manifold, and I have squirted out to the right-hand side, setting myself up in this position on the ramp, and we have managed to spot a cheeky fast mover from the enemy team. It's an Arctic Cheetah, thinking he's going to get away with sneaking through our backfield. I'm going to hold locks on him, add some harassing, suppressing fire while he runs away. He is now really hurt. He's lost his right arm, his right leg is open, and he is being pursued by 2 or 3 of my teammates, so I'm going to let them wrap him up, and I'm going to get back into the thick of things on this particular drop. Now, I've pushed over to use the ramp for peeking and poking with my build. I need to be aware that there is some kind of an enemy unit that's showing up in Delta 6 area to my right-hand side, so I don't want to expose my mech. I'm going to put up a UAV instead and see if I can figure out what's over there. And sure enough, it is a Nova Cat. He's up on the wall, so I'm going to call out his position in case somebody wasn't paying attention to the minimap, and I'm going to see if I can get some angles on him. And sure enough, he is going to peek over just enough that I get a little chip shot on him, and he's being focused by some of my teammates with missiles as well. Now another unit is pushing into the area. I did throw out an arty strike, and somebody's running across my field of fire. Okay, so there's an important lesson for everyone watching this one is when you're crossing in front of mechs, it's usually better to cut behind a mech and not in front, because you never know when they are going to open fire. Now the enemy looks like they have a strong sniper presence on the walls and high ground. I've got a Nova Cat to my right and 3 of them in front of me, including an awesome, I think that was a Marauder, and I'm not sure what the 3rd unit is to the far left. But they think they are going to operate up there with impunity, shooting all of my teammates, and I am not about to let that happen. So we distract the awesome there a little bit. We get some shots off on the Marauder, push him back into cover, and in fact that might be a 2nd Marauder.
New target acquired.
But there's a lot of tonnage they've committed to staying up on the wall. So I'm going to use this vantage point on the ramp to peek and poke, and meanwhile I notice my other teammates have moved in and are harassing the Nova Cat. I'm going to come around the corner here, just because if I'm patient enough, he's going to do that right there and expose himself and allow me to get a couple of extra shots on him. And now he's maneuvering defensively from my teammate who's pushing him and exposing himself again to some shots. Let's see if he comes back for a 3rd round. And he does, so we'll add this to the damage board as well, and my teammate manages to put him down. That is excellent news, because that frees up my right flank, and now I can fully utilize the elevation advantage this ramp will provide me in suppressing some of the enemy long-range units. And we're going to start with Mr. Awesome, because we can't let him be awesome all match long. We've got to put some suppressing fire in there, make him think twice about peeking and poking, or at the very least make him stop to deal with us as opposed to focusing my teammates in the low ground at Delta 5. Now, getting a quick read on his paper doll, he is heavily damaged, and his CT is 1 touch, so I'm going to fully expose here. I'm not going to back off. I want him to look at me so that I could do just that and finish off that center torso. And now there's 2 more targets, so it looks like a Marauder to the far left, and in the center there is, that's a Marauder. Oh, it's a Marauder Mark II dual Gauss rifle and a laser weapon. So again, they've committed a lot of tonnage to this wall, and we're going to focus that Marauder. He's half down. Now his left torso is open as well, and he has become fully defensive. So he is pulling back and moving around. He no longer wants that position on the wall, and that is the point of this, is suppressing fire on the long-range units, forcing them to abandon their position, or at the very least, take the pressure off of the units they want to be focusing. A lot of enemy units are down in the low ground now, and it looks like the brawl is breaking out Delta 5 low ground. Still have 1 last unit up there to the left. He is being stubborn and not getting off the wall, but that's okay. Still have lots of units to focus on, like this crab. The crab is heavily damaged, and he goes down. And now there's an Eben Jag, and I'm trying to do some pre-fire, and I'm trying to shoot around some teammates. I think I might have done a little team damage in there at some point, trying to thread the needle with my lasers and get damage on the enemy unit without hitting my friendlies. It's now 11-4, so we just have the last unit to hunt down, and I'm going to close in to help out with that hunt. So let's get back to the first question I posed at the beginning of the video, if you could spot the difference. And the difference is this. In the first match, I was very lightly pressured, but yet pressured. In this match, I received virtually no pressure and was able to focus on the enemies. Now, I bring this up because right now there is a lot of long-range combat going on in the game, and that concerns me because the minute something becomes meta, it is suddenly OP, like long-range weapon systems. And a quick knee-jerk response to this is to nerf those weapon systems. And my argument is that I think a switch in player tactics might be the better response than to quickly nerf everything in the game. As they say, the proof is in the pudding, so let's compare end screens. Switching over to this end screen, we wind up with 1 kill, 9 assists, 820 damage done. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section.